So I had a lot of fun with Ryza 3, but I had a lot of problems with it as well. And some of it was just kind of annoying stuff, but as you played through and through, it got really devastating annoying. So let's go through and see what piqued my interest and what kind of lost me on it. Now, Ryza 1 was the first time I played of the Atelier games, and I had a blast with it. Unfortunately, neither 2 nor 3 have been able to kind of meet my fun that I had with that one. So I had a pretty easy time beating 2. So for this one, I decided to wait until like there was like some kind of legendary difficulty that was added during a patch. And so I actually, in order to do a blind legendary play, I had to go and download somebody else's thing. But I got somebody else's save from the internet or whatever, and then I was able to just crank and go legendary with just a straight playthrough. And dude, the first weasel, it took me like 3 hours of grinding spells and stuff to be able to first weasel. I definitely got what I wanted out of that. Now, unfortunately, a lot of other players were, since this is now the 3rd game, and like this, it's not like you can just go through like a Final Fantasy and start, you know, Final Fantasy 3 and it being different. No, you needed to watch the stories from 1 and 2. So people who played 1 and 2, they're good players by the time they get to it, and they have apparently crushed the freaking difficulty of the game. There's a lot of good stuff that was unlocked in the later part of 1 and 2 that are fairly easy to get here, especially when you're used to abusing the stats and stuff and the alchemy system. And so what it ends up doing is just kind of like, it's weird because you make your own gear and stuff, and so you kind of almost make your own difficulty as well. You can make it broken or easy depending on whether you just rush, but it seems like they haven't really got that feeling good. And then you would just go and be destroying, and then you run into a boss and get destroyed. Now for me, running legendary, I had it toward the end. I was pretty much forced to use bombs and stuff like that, and I really engaged with all of the systems, and with good and bad. And I can tell you that new super trait system, it pisses me off, man. It's annoying as hell. You can't figure out. It's constantly like, well, can I use this super trait in this thing? And the answer is usually no. And then, well, how the hell do I get this super trait? I've got it here, and then I want to move it here. It's like, oh, well, you know, you have to go out and find it in the real world. It can't be a synthesized material, and there's so many things that you can't do, and you like, it's like a random chance of getting this stuff. It drives you freaking bonkers. But I still love the alchemy system, and so if you like making your own gear, definitely you would want to play with the first one, and then go on through to this one. But the gear stuff is still fun, and it's like going through and trying to get all of your quality up, and, you know, finding the right things, and then all of that stuff just makes hell half the game you spend in the menus making shit. And that's appealing to you, then yeah, this you should probably just try one of the Atelier ones. I would start with the first one, of course, or maybe the Atelier Yumiya, which is, it's out in a couple months. But there was, from a story perspective, there was some translation problems. I don't know. They don't talk like they're human. They talk like it was like either, definitely whoever made it was their second language, or maybe the AI made it. Maybe the AI algorithm made it. But they kind of talk weird, and then they kept having these little side cut scenes that were just like, hey man, remember we've been here? Remember we did there? Remember that? And it's like all of these memory berry scenes, and I'm like, dude, this is driving me freaking nuts. I played Ryza 1. I played it like in whatever 2019 or whenever the hell it came out. I played it. I don't need to be reminded about it every freaking 5 seconds. And it's like, hey man, remember Tall? He used to be short. He's tall now. And it's like, shut up. I'm tired of hearing about it. Is this the one-dimensional part of that character? Because he had a little bit more going in that. No, we're just, oh, Tall's tall now. It's like, oh, great. I want to hear it 5,000 times. And then the first half of the story with the new characters, good God, I didn't care nothing about that craft guild and junk. But toward the end of the game, it catches up with all the stuff that was kind of set up in part 2. Everything's paid off here, and I think they did a very good job with that. I love the music, the graphics. Oh goodness, I don't know. I think because it's a large open world now, and I'm just going to say that the main platform is probably Switch. The graphics are not impressive. I was more impressed by the first one, honestly. They're serviceable, but if you're in here in this overworld like here, where it's like a giant overworld with tons and tons of stuff, and you having her go around and moving around has always been the jankiest part of the Ryza series. It's like she just kind of falls through shit and gets caught on stuff and trying to climb up things. It's like it's always feels bad and janky. The Lexus about to break apart, but it's serviceable. But I don't know. Well, I guess they want it to be it. Everybody wants to think you need to be a giant open world. This game doesn't fit good for a giant open world. What you have is this. It's still kind of broken off into sections where, okay, you can get your tier 1. I'm just calling them tier 1. Tier 1 materials here, and in the next world you'll go to get the tier 2 materials, and then they'll be hidden in there. But you know the size and the scope of where you can go pretty much anywhere that was in the first game. It's just there, and you don't need to engage with it, but you can. But you like walking through, it's like, is there anything good here? And it's like, no, it's not really good at all. And like all of the treasure chests have just junk in them. It's like, here's all of these treasure chests. We're going to have a collection list on there. And it's like, oh, well, should I get all the treasure chests in this area? No, because they suck. And I didn't particularly care for the mini quest system. Some of them do give good rewards, but it isn't like, say, back in the first game where you would get like all kinds of amazing shit from doing and helping the people. You get recipes and stuff. Here you're supposed to get rare keys and then use them in certain spots, and then you'll have like a percentage chance or something to get a recipe. Like that thing right there, that might have had a recipe in it. I think it needs to be gold actually. It doesn't have the same appeal to it. And as far as like going out and gathering resources in the world, the best way to do is to just teleport in the little tower areas, kind of like Assassin's Creed. Just teleport in a tower, collect the goodies there, and then reset it like immediately right there, and just do it again. And that's the best way to collect. I think the collection part and the exploring part is one of the weaker aspects of this game, which sucks because it's fun to just go out there and try to find things and, you know, get new recipes and stuff, and then go back to the base and try them out. It's a little long in the tooth, and like say I don't know, like general gameplay, it just kind of you're kind of set into doing whatever you're gonna do. The combos were interesting, but it's kind of like just mash a bunch of button combos in, and then you'll link one character in, and you'll tag this character in, and then, you know, here get a meter up to build this character, and you could essentially stun lock the enemy if you're doing it right. And they're just constantly waiting for you to. They never get a turn off. And hell, in Legendary, it was the only real way to play, because if the enemies got a turn, they'd kill my ass. But I know I kind of hate and ragged on it, but in the end, it still has the charm that the other ones do, and I still enjoy playing it a lot. Now, I played with the keyboard. That was my mistake. That crap was awful. Just play it with a damn controller. And of course, most people are going to play this on PS5 or Switch anyway. We're trying to rep the JRPGs on the PC around here. I didn't have any problems as far as frame rates or anything like that. But this one is more disjointed than 1 and 2. I think 1 would be the best, followed by 2, and then followed by this one. This one's by far the biggest. It has so many damn characters that, you know, they don't need that many characters, but there's a ton of characters here, and so hopefully you'll find someone you like there. But shoot, we just use Ryza and Claudia and some other jabroni. That's how we always have done these games anyway. But Ryza 3, Brian's going to give it the paw up because we still loved going through and just digging into this gameplay systems, even though that super trait crap sucks. We loved going through, making the things, finding the new recipes, getting the SP, unlocking the SP gauge, or skill tree, or whatever the hell it is. And then Big Kitty's like, no, we felt that the first game was better. And hell, this game reminded you every 2 seconds that the first game was out there. Hey man, did you know about Ryza 1? Did you know the tile has gotten taller? Yes, 5,000 times, thank you. But overall, if you've played through 1 and 2, and you enjoy them, then 3's an easy follow-up.